Hello and good afternoon to all our wonderful listeners today. My name is Mai and I represent Prudent Insurance Wellness Team. I'd like to first of all commend and congratulate each one of you for taking the first step towards improving your health and well-being. Today, our session is going to be very interesting. We are going to learn about how to achieve the best health using Ayurvedic principles. Let me introduce our speaker for today, Dr. Purnima Devkumar. She is the Joint Medical Director at IAIM, which is also called the Institute for Ayurveda and Integrative Medicine Healthcare Center. She is also the head for clinical research and education at the University of Transdisciplinary Health Sciences and Technology, also known as TDU. She is also a physician at the General Medicine for unit of IAIM. She has received Ayurvisharada Award from the Himalaya Drug Company and a recognition award in Global Ayurveda Festival Kochi in appreciation of the intellectual support to Home Pavilion for organizing Anveshana, which is a thematic exhibition on research advances related to Ayurveda. A very warm welcome to you, Dr. Purnima.
Thank you.
So we can't wait to hear from you. If we can see your presentation, we look forward to hearing from you.
Okay. Thank you, Mai, for introducing me. A very warm welcome to all the participants. I hope you can see my presentation. Okay, so dear friends, today we'll be having a little information about wellness through Ayurveda with a special focus on weight loss. Yeah, so this is the content of my presentation today. We'll be dealing briefly with the concept of health, importance of three doshas in maintaining health, importance of digestion, metabolism, the importance of excretion, healthy mind, and optimum usage of sensory organs. And we'll be especially touching upon the Prakriti, okay, unique concept in Ayurveda. And we'll be briefly discussing about the concept of healthy weight and its maintenance through Ayurveda approach. So let us start with what is health. Okay, so it's a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. Okay, so this definition has been made in the year 1948 from World Health Organization. Okay, so it gives importance for both physical, mental, and social well-being. Okay, so what was defined in Ayurveda 5,000 years ago? You can see here, this is in Sanskrit. I'll explain the balanced physiological functions, balanced Agni, digestion and metabolism, efficient digestion and metabolism, balanced quality of tissues, and normal excretory process, and prasannata, the contentment in life, along with cheerful mind. Okay, this is the definition of health in Ayurveda. And how do we achieve this health? Through first comes the diet, balanced diet. What is balanced diet in Ayurveda? It doesn't explain in terms of carbohydrate, proteins, fats. It explains in terms of Prakriti-based diet. Okay, what is your nature? You have to have the food accordingly. And it also explains season-based diet. Okay, based on the season. You are as for the nature. Okay, observe the nature and change accordingly. Okay, there is circadian rhythm in the body which also changes as per the season and nature. Based on that, we should have food, and based on the place also. There will be some dry land. Okay, there may, in some places there may be snowfall. In some places it's a desert. There is too much of humid moisture in some places. Based on that, the diet should be designed. Okay, and healthy lifestyle. What is healthy lifestyle? For both body and mind, it recommends starting from Dinacharya and Ritucharya, how a day should start, how we have to change ourselves as per the season. Okay, so that is explained in Ayurveda. and need-based therapies and formulations. Okay, so Ayurveda, the main intention is to swasthasya swasthya rakshanam. Those who are healthy, we want to preserve their health, and for those who have some diseases, we want to give the medication or manage the disease. Okay, so let us start one by one with the doshas. Okay, so these are three doshas in Ayurveda: Vata, Pitta, Kapha. Okay, you might have heard of this, or you might have just know that Pitta is acid, Kapha is phlegm. But these three are the building blocks of any body for both physiology and the structure. The Vata is made up of Akasha and Vayu Mahabhuta. Pitta is made up of fire and water. Kapha is made up of earth and water. Okay. So based on this, they will have the qualities. Okay. Vata is mainly responsible for mobility, movement, nervous system, excretion. Pitta is mainly responsible for controlling digestion, metabolism, energy production, all the enzymatic reactions in the body. And Kapha is responsible for structure, stability, and the bonding in between the organs. Okay, so it is responsible. And what are the qualities? So if we see their origin, okay, Akasha, the ether is also light, air is also light. So what are the qualities of water? It will be light, dry, rough, subtle. Okay, so these are some of the qualities of water. And pitta, it is hot, light, penetrating, it's slightly unctuous, not completely moist, it is slightly unctuous, acidic and sharp. And kapha will be heavy in nature, cold in nature. Okay, so and it improves stability, it improves strength. Okay, so these are the qualities of kapha. Okay, it is soft, dull, and there is sliminess. Okay. Next comes digestion and metabolism. Okay, so this is also important aspect through an Ayurveda because for everything to get energy, to get the tissues to be produced, to get nourishment, this digestion is very much important. Okay, there are four types of digestion. Agni we call. One is mandana, that is slow in digestion. Okay, so just imagine a stove, gas stove in sim. Okay, so the fire is less. Tikshna is quick digestion. Okay, even the heavy food and the fatty food, they'll be able to digest very quickly, and within 1 or 2 hours they'll feel the hunger. And there is one more Vishamagni, that is irregular digestion. Okay, sometimes there will be good proper digestion, sometimes there will be improper digestion. That leads to toxic formation in the body. And optimum digestion is known as Samadhi. So we all should aim at achieving Samadhi. Okay, how do we do that? Okay, so we should aim at seeing what are the factors which affects Agni. Okay, having food at improper time. Okay, so having late night food, okay, that is improper. Having food without observing digestion of the previous day. Okay, even if you are not hungry, having heavy food, that is also not proper. Okay, having preserved and stale food. Okay, prepare the food in bulk, keep it in the refrigerator, and every day you have it, heat it and have it. No, Ayurveda doesn't recommend that. And having food which is too cold, okay, or too hot, too spicy, excess in one taste, that is also not recommended in Ayurveda. And having food in hurry, okay, so just going running to the office and just munching something, no, that is also not good. Okay, not chewing the food properly, that has to be changed. Okay, gulping the food, that is also not good. And drinking too much of water, excessive water after food, that has to be avoided. Okay, so these are few things that has to be taken care to maintain the digestion. Next is tissues in the body. I told samadhatu. Okay, samadhatu, there are 7 tissues in the body, starting from rasa. That I can compare it with the plasma to some extent, because I don't. The scope of this presentation is not to get into the details. It won't allow me to get into the details. So I'll just explain in brief that this is plasma compared to plasma. Rakta, that is compared with our blood. Mamsa, that is compared can be muscle. Meda is a fat, Asti, bone and cartilage, Majja, it can be compared to the bone marrow, nervous system, and Shukra, it's a reproductive system. The balance of these 7 dhatus is very, very important to have a healthy life. Okay, even if there is any excess in any of the dhatus or malnourishment in any of the dhatus, it will affect the adjacent dhatus also. Like rakta is formed from rasa, mamsa is formed from rakta. Okay, so it starts from rasa to shukra. Okay, if one is affected, it will affect all the others. Okay, that's why it is important to maintain samatvam, balance in all these tissues. Okay, so and next comes the normal excretion process. Okay, this may sound silly, but many of the patients who come to me, if I ask them that, okay, how is your bowel movements, they say it's normal. Okay, but when I get into the details, is it hard? Is it complete? Or is it sticky? Then they said, yes, ma'am. Sometimes it is incomplete. Sometimes I have to strain a lot. Sometimes it is sticky. Sometimes it is having too much of foul smell. That shows that your digestion is not proper. Okay, it should be easily one time completion should be there or two times, but the person should feel the clearness. Okay, so that is normal excretion process. The same thing applies for urination also. There should not be any burning sensation. There should not be any restricted flow of the urination. There should not be any fragmented pieces of sedimentation or too much of foul smell should not be there in the urination. That is normal excretion process. And this applies for menstruation in females. Okay, so that is also considered as it should be a normal process of 28 to 30 days wait, and it should be around 3 to 5 days, max 6 days with the normal flow. Okay, it should not be too much or not excess. Okay, and it should not be painful. Okay, mild discomfort is expected, but if it is hindering you for too much of pain, okay, so if it is hindering your daily routine, then you should seek the doctor's advice. Okay, next comes moderate usage of sense organs for optimal functions. Okay, so we should never use too much of any of the sense organs. Okay, sight, hearing, okay, too loud noise, continuous listening, okay, that is not recommended. Even for seeing, okay, watching phones, watching gadgets, watching screens, okay, reading too small fonts, reading through a bright light, okay, so that is also not recommended. Smell, okay, so corrosive smells or irritating smells, if it is continuous, that is not recommended for the health of the sense organs. Okay, so for taste, okay, never go for excess, taking excess taste. Okay, so not too much of salt, not too much of bitter. Okay, some people say bitter is good for health. Okay, so don't go for too much of bitter. Okay, it should be moderate. Even touch, not handling the foods which are too cold or too hot. Okay, so that also is helpful to maintain the moderate usage of the sense organs. Okay, and you should have a cheerful mind. Okay, so it says prasanna atma indriya manas. Okay, prasanna manas is cheerful mind. How do we have cheerful mind? Is through positive thinking, be sociable. Okay, so socialize with your friends, have good friends in life who can tell you what is good and what is bad, not just praise you for whatever you do. Okay, eat healthy and keep your mind active and keep learning new things. There is no age limit for learning new things. Okay, the more you use our brain and mind, it becomes sharp. Okay, and exercises, physical exercises, and also mind games will keep the mind cheerful and positive. Have positive thoughts. Look at the positive aspects of life. Okay, if there are any worries or tension, share it with the loved ones, share it with people who can console you, who can give you right advice, so that you don't hold upon the stress, you don't hold upon the grief. Okay, and don't have rajasika guna, like anger, arishad varga we call, no? Okay, so that is mada, moha, lobha, matsara, okay, krodha, that anger, jealousiness, okay, and pride. Okay, so only I am right. Okay, whatever you are telling may not be right. Okay, that attitude is also not right. Whenever you are listening, listen through unbiasedness. Okay, so you listen through open mind, and then you can decide upon whether it is right or wrong. Okay, so next coming to Prakriti concept. Prakriti is, many people ask me about Prakriti. What is this Prakriti in Ayurveda? Okay, so may I know my Prakriti? So this is one of the unique concepts which when I feel it's a boon to know what is the Prakriti type. It's a mind body classification of an individual explained in Ayurveda. Pra is prayer. Kriti means upper. Okay, so which is formed during the conception itself when there is a ovum and sperm meet and the fertilization happens, the prakriti of that offspring is formed then and there, okay, and it will evolve. Prakriti, once it is formed, it will be stable throughout the life, and to some extent, it can be compared with genetically inherited physical and psychological qualities. Okay, so what is this? Okay, there are Vata, Pitta, Kapha. These doshas contribute for formation of the Prakriti. I have told you the qualities of Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. Okay, so you can see some of the people who are lean, okay, and who don't gain weight even if they have food in a larger quantity. They'll be quick moving and they'll be cheerful, okay. So they will be lean, thin build, they will have dry skin, thin hair, and it will be usually dry. Irregular hunger, there will be difficulty to tolerate cold season or cold food. Okay, they want everything. They can sip piping hot tea. Okay, tea or coffee, and they're usually light sleepers. Okay, so they get easily disturbed if even with a small sound or any disturbance. It's difficult for them to gain weight. Okay, so they easily get anxious or afraid, okay, nervous of some new situation or any new project or new question. They get easily anxious. Okay, they love movement, they love traveling. Okay, they will be moving quickly and they travel a lot. Okay, they will be more of a talkative than listeners. Okay, there will be fickle-mindedness. It's difficult for them to take the judgment, and they get easily short tempered and quick to get anger, but also easily they forgive. Okay. So what is good for them? So as I told you, it is having cold nature. Warm foods are good for them. Okay. Warm foods and they should always keep the warm. Sweet, sour, and salt tastes are good for them. Okay, these three are nourishing in nature, so it is good for them. But don't mistake that it should be taken in excess. It should be taken in moderate. But sweet taste, especially milk products, are good for Vata people. Okay, they need good nourishment, high caloric food. Okay, which can give the satiation and also nutrition. Okay, you should take more of a fibrous, good cooked vegetables, not raw vegetables, but cooked vegetables are good for them because in Vata condition it's difficult for them to digest raw vegetables. Okay, slowly they can switch to from cooked to raw vegetables. And oil massages are recommended, and we don't recommend strenuous exercises for them. We do recommend light exercises. Meditation is recommended for avoiding anxiety, for controlling anxiety and nervousness, and rich fruits like apple, custard apple, chiku, all dates, all these are recommended. Dry fruit are also recommended, which are soaked in water overnight. It can be, and the next day it can be had. Okay, we usually ask them to avoid dryness causing foods like mixture or puri or dry powders or dry fulka with dry gravies, okay, dry vegetables. Okay, so usually these things we ask them to avoid. And also too much of bitter and astringent foods also are not so good for them. Okay, should avoid strenuous exercises because first of all, it's easy for them to lose weight, it's difficult for them to gain weight. So they should avoid strenuous exercises, but they can go for moderate exercises. Okay. Okay, so for warmer body, you remember Pitta is hot in nature, so they will have a warmer body. There will be more moles and freckles on the face and body. They'll have medium hair, but maybe sometimes, most of the times, it will be brownish tinge. There will be early graying of hairs, or also sometimes early balding will be there. They will have sharp hunger. They will not be able to tolerate fasting, or even if the food intake delays by half an hour, they may not be able to tolerate it. They may get headache or acidity, burning sensation. Hence, they will have a sharp hunger. They can easily digest a good amount of food, which is heavy also. Okay? Usually they will have Tichnata. And they are less tolerant to heat, hot weather. Okay, so they in summer and all irritates them. Okay, when hot drinks, they'll not be able to tolerate to a major extent. Hot food, spicy food is not good for them. Okay, so they will get irritation. They easily get gastritis. They easily get skin problems. Okay, so if pitta is more. Okay, so their sleep will be moderate. Okay, so and they easily get provoked. Okay, they're known for their angle. Yeah. So one thing I would like to make it clear is I'm telling about the extreme constitution. Okay, so you may see the combination of all these vata, pitta, kapha in a person. It depends on the percentage. Okay, it depends on how balanced they are. So some may be vata predominant. They might have pitta qualities and kapha qualities. And the same thing applies to pitta predominant. They will have other vata qualities and kapha qualities. Okay, you have to take my presentation in such a way that these are the major qualities. Okay, whenever we have to choose the food and lifestyle, consider these qualities. Okay, and pitta people will also be while talking they'll be precise, sharp, and they're outspoken, and they love creative work. Okay, their imagination is also good. So what is recommended for pitta? Okay, so we know what aggravates pitta. Okay, it's the opposite of pitta quality that is recommended for maintaining pitta. So what are those? So these sweet, bitter, astringent taste. Okay, pitta gets aggravated by its taste. It gets aggravated by pungent, salt, sour. Okay, we have to take opposite quality food. Okay, as it is having hotness, we have to use cooling foods. Okay, cooling foods which are fresh fruits, fresh juices, tender coconut water, dhania water, jeera water. Okay, cucumbers, ashgard, melons. Okay, so all these are cooling foods. Okay, and sandalwood. Okay, so sandalwood juice. All these are cooling foods and all. Okay, they have tendency for getting more acidity and skin related problem, as I told you. For acidity, we have to give more antacids, which are herbal antacids. Okay, like the commonest herbal antacid, you know which one? It's the dry kishmish. Okay, sweet kishmish. If the people are having any gastritis or gastric regurgitation, keep chewing soaked kishmish or even the dry kishmish so that it balances your acid secretion. Okay, and meditate, undergo relaxation therapies. Because people need more relaxation therapies like oil massage on the head. They have to undergo cleansing therapies. Okay, moderate exercises, not in the scorching sun. It should be in the cool place. Okay, they sweat a lot, so they have to take care of that also. Okay, Pitta people have to relax and walk amidst the nature. The green, soothing color has a positive effect on the Pitta people. Okay, swimming is best recommended for Pitta people. Okay, the water, especially that activity, is helps in balancing Pitta. Okay, in Ayurveda we recommend Virechana for Pitta people that I'll be dealing with little in future slides. Okay, and we usually Pitta people should avoid spices, sour and pungent food. Okay, spices aggravates pitta. They're usually hot in nature, increases Agni, and also it increases pitta. That's why they have to minimize. Okay, avoid exposure to hot sun or minimize. Okay, I can't say avoid, minimize and take proper care when going to the hot sun. Okay, and avoid taking too much of stress. Okay, so it should be moderate. Okay, so these are pitta type. And next comes kapha type. So what is this kapha type? You know, I have told you about vata type. Opposite of that is kapha type. So I told you vata and kapha are quite opposite in qualities. So usually kapha people are broad. They have a broad build. Okay, they have broad shoulders. They're usually tall. Okay, they're usually of a fairer skin, oily, smoother skin. They're calm and composed, and they have a sweet voice. They have moderate hunger. It's not too much for
Hello,
them, and
Dr.
even they
Purnima.
Yes,
Dr. Punya. Yeah, your
yes, yes.
voice is not very feeble. So if you can, I don't know, get closer to the audio because
Okay,
I'm getting, yeah, comments that the voice is not clear.
okay. So, how is it now?
Yeah, it's
How
better
is
if you keep it
it?
like that. And yeah,
Okay, okay, fine. Okay, fine. Yeah. Okay. So they'll have, so shall I continue?
yes, please.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. So, kapha people will have moderate hunger and even their digestion is slightly slower. Okay. They have good tolerance for heat and cold. Okay. They have good immunity power. They will have good sleep. Okay. Deep sleep they will have and they get attached to people and they will be more caring and more friends will be there. But the tendency is to put on weight. Okay. So that easily they can put on weight. So what is recommended for kapha? So as I told you, it's a simple, okay, opposite of kapha guna is recommended. So kapha is heavy in nature, so we should have less caloric, that is laghu, okay, light diet, okay. So it should be heavy to digest, but it should not be adding calories to the body. That type we should take care. So I'll be dealing with this in detail in future slides. So I'll just brief in this slide, okay. You should have early and a light dinner. You should have dry and hot foods, okay, spices, fibrous vegetables, cooked sprouts, hot soups, and you should be having physically active. Should push ourselves to be physically active. Dry powder massage and steam is recommended. Day sleep should be avoided and sedentary habits should be avoided. The taste which should be minimized the sweet, sour, and salt. Okay. Next, I'll be explaining this topic in detail because as I see that more people are asking towards how do I maintain optimum weight and how do I be healthy with the kapha component. Kapha is actually it's good to have kapha prakriti, but if that is not balanced, as I told you, it's easy to put on. So in my next slides, I'll be dealing in detail about how to balance this and have healthy weight even with the kapha. Okay. So if we see here, how do we measure optimum weight? Okay. So there are these are the measurement. Body mass index. Okay. So what is body mass index? It is check your weight, divide it by height in meters square. Okay. Example, if a weight is 68, height is 165 centimeters, it comes to a BMI of 24.98. Okay. So so I have shown here what is the ideal BMI. What is underweight? What is normal? Overweight? Okay. So severe obesity, moderate, morbid obesity, and super obesity. Okay. We should aim at becoming normal. Okay. Under the normal weight. Our BMI should be within the normal range. Okay. So there is one more measurement known as waist hip ratio. Okay, so it is nothing but it is shown in the figure, yeah, how to measure the waist hip ratio. Okay, at the narrowest part of the waist and broadest part of the hip, it is measured in inches. Divide and you will get a number. Okay, so it should be less than 0.85. Okay, if it is more towards 1, it shows that we are at a higher risk for obesity. Okay, so central obesity is a risk for many of the conditions, okay, which I'm showing here. Starting from it, okay, so if there is overweight obesity, it will lead to more of the health conditions. So it becomes a nest for inviting so many health problems. That's why I'm focusing on this topic today. Okay, so it will lead to heart diseases. The blood starts becoming thick. There will be increased cholesterol. Just imagine when water will start adding something thicker to make it thicker. Okay, so the blood becomes thick because of the liquid and cholesterol. The movement becomes sluggish, and there will be formation of clot. If it lodges in the brain, it leads to clot. If it lodges in the heart, it gives heart-related problem. Okay, so in females, overweight may lead to some of the menstruation-related problems. It gives abnormal periods, irregular periods, infertility. Because of that, there may be because of the overweight, the weight on the knees and bones will be more, it may lead to arthritis. Okay. So it also leads to respiratory illness like asthma and blood clots. Okay, so all these things which are not so good for a healthy life, right? So it's always better to be having our weight in the normal range. So we should aim towards that. Okay. So why people tend to get increased weight? Okay. So we all know the reason. Okay. So high caloric diet, excessive eating. Okay, so eating even without hunger, frequently eating, kapha related. I told you the qualities of kapha. The same applies to the food also. Okay, so if the food which is having more of kapha increasing gunas, that will lead to the increased fat and kapha. Okay, there are genetic factors, hormonal factors, stress. Stress is also one of the factors that increases weight. And certain medications like steroids and other medications that will lead to obesity. So what is our recommendations? Okay, so there are two pictures here. Which one do we have to follow? Okay, both are colorful, right? Okay, but if you see the right, so there is more vegetable, more dal. Okay, so there is wheat, there is cooked wheat grain. Okay, this is more healthier than this junk food. Okay. So what is recommendation from Ayurveda? So this is barley. Okay, barley is a very good cereal to maintain the weight. Okay, so it fills your stomach, it will, gives the satiation, and also it will not add more calories to the food. It is rich in fiber. Okay, so barley is recommended. Spices are recommended. Okay, so these are millets. Okay, millets are recommended, and cook the vegetables, cook fibrous vegetables, what I have shown here. Okay, so there is bitter gourd, capsicum, lady's finger. These are some of the sample vegetables. Okay, and spices are recommended. Spices are really good to kill those extra kilos. Okay, shades of fat, that is highly recommended. Methi water, turmeric. Okay, turmeric curcumin is becoming a new trend, especially in Western countries. Curcumin tablet is becoming a new trend that actually acts as a scraping for fat and lipids. Okay, one more superfood is garlic. Okay, this improves digestion and also helps in reduction of weight. One more thing, please note that if there is severe acidity, then spices have to be minimized. Okay, and even during having this millets, care should be taken that it should not be too dry. If required, little bit of ghee should be added, that we are not going to increase water. Okay. Next is, what are the cereals that are, what are the grains that are recommended? Moong dal. Okay. So green gram, horse gram. Okay. So these is flax seeds. Okay. So flax seeds is recommended, and also garden press seeds. Okay, so it is known as alvi in Canada. Okay, it's recommended. Okay, usually than raw sprouts, we do recommend cooked sprouts, because what happens, especially in overweight, if the agni becomes, the digestion becomes impaired, that times having the raw sprouts is not recommended. That will lead to either constipation or gastritis. Hence, cooked sprouts are recommended in such condition. If there is no issue that okay, you are able to digest the raw sprouts without any discomfort, means if there is no constipation or gastritis, you are free to go to have raw sprouts. Okay. So there are some leafy vegetables which helps in maintaining or improving our metabolism and also improving our digestion. Okay, like fenugreek leaves, drumstick leaves, dill, palak, cabbage, broccoli, gobi, mint, and you also know this. There is a grass. Okay, so usually that is offered to Lord Ganesha, which is known as garike. Okay, Cynodon dactylon, if you can write it. Okay, the juice of that is also highly recommended to improve digestion and metabolism. Okay, it slows down the sugar absorption in the body and also helps in fat metabolism. Okay, what are the liquids and drinks that are recommended? Best is hot water. Hot water improves catabolism, that is, the fat metabolism will be improved through hot water. It improves the digestion and also helps in elimination of the toxins. And also honey is recommended. Okay, honey, pure honey, if you taste it, you will get the kashaya rasa, astringent taste at the end. It is not just sweet. Okay, pure honey, if you taste it, you will get it. It should be mixed with not hot water. Okay, please correct it, warm water. Okay, because in hot water there are some release of the changes in the enzyme which is not so good for the health. Okay, so the constant usage of this may lead to toxin buildup in the body. Hence Ayurveda recommends to put it into the warm water. Lime juice, just minimum amount of lime can be added. Okay, and this is one more, this is Garcinia. Okay, this is known as kokum in Ayurveda in Sanskrit. Okay, you might have, you will get it in all the shops. Okay, so if you want, you can get it without sugar. If you want to reduce weight. Okay, so if you are not, if you are having optimum weight, you just want it for a cooling purpose, you can have with sugar. Okay, one more probiotics that is mentioned in Ayurveda is buttermilk. Okay, buttermilk is not just adding curds to the water and just mixing it. It should be properly churned and butter should be removed. Okay, and then after that it should be seasoned with ginger and hing. Okay, so that helps in proper digestion and also it acts as a probiotic. It improves the gut bacteria to have a better digestion and assimilation of the food. Okay, so this image is of tulsi seeds, basil seeds. Okay, it's also called as sabj seeds. Okay, so just keep 1 spoon of this in 1 glass of water. It can be kept overnight and morning you can have it. Okay, so that also improves the, it gives more fiber and improves the digestion and also helps in the fat reduction if that is there. And it also helps in easy elimination of the stools. Okay. The fruits which are recommended are wood apple, amla, which is rich in vitamin C, and bale fruit. Okay, bilva, you might have heard of bilva. Okay, that is also recommended. And papaya. Papaya is good. Okay, especially not overripe papaya. It is just unripe or just moderately ripened papaya is good. Pomegranate is good. Okay, so there are two varieties in pomegranate actually, if you keenly observe. One will be little sour in nature, one will be little sweetish in nature. But you can have the sour variety in pomegranate, though amla and pomegranate are sour in nature, but these two are recommended in a reduction of weight or maintaining optimum weight. Okay, and there is this jambu. Okay, jamun fruit, that is also good in, which doesn't add to the calories. Okay, so this fruit is also good for you. Next, what are the lifestyle to follow? Okay, so we all know early to bed and early to rise. Yes, that is recommended. Even in Ayurveda, it is mentioned as Brahmi Muhurti Uttistam. Okay, just before the sunrise, 30 minutes before the sunrise, we should get up and then start our daily activities. Okay, so to start our day with the activities. So what all activities, physical activities you may follow? You start with that. Okay, sun salutation is advised, which is a complete exercise. You can start with warm-up exercises and then you can go with the adding more exercises, asanas to it. And food. Okay, so it should be like morning breakfast. You have it okay, based on your digestion and appetite. Okay, if you feel your previous food is digested, you have the good quantity of food. Okay, have more fibers, vegetable, cooked vegetable, dal. Okay, and also avoid refined flours, refined sugars. Okay, in your food. While having food, please do not distract yourself. Consider having food as equal to prayer, okay? Because you are feeding to your body. Have you see the food, what you are having, enjoy the food, okay? So it is like worshipping God, okay? So you have the food accordingly. Don't distract yourself. You sit in a proper place and then you have. Don't watch TV, don't watch phone, don't read some books while having food, so that you will focus on what you are having and chew the food properly. Do not just gulp it. Do not drink water in between and do not drink water soon after the food intake in excess quantity. Okay, so these are some of the guidelines. Have food when it is hot. Okay, so usually, like for working people, I know it will be slightly difficult, but if you can have freshly prepared food, that is good. Okay, burn the calories, not electricity. Wherever possible, we take the stairs. Okay, not lift or elevators. And do some exercises that can be done at workplace also. So most of the times will be in a workplace which is sedentary. Okay, so we will not have much of a physical work to do. Okay, so take time, 30-30 rule. Okay, after every 30 minutes, get up and walk 30 steps and sit down. Okay, so once after 3 hours, do some exercises on the desk itself. Okay, which improves the flexibility of the muscle so that you don't get the tendency to put on or improving the metabolism. Okay, have early dinner. Okay, so we recommend to have early dinner so that minimum 2 to 3 hours of gap should be there before you go to bed. Okay, in dinner, avoid heavy carbohydrate food, heavy foods. Okay, have almost light food. You can have cooked vegetables, cooked sprouts, or even a boiled red rice can be taken. Okay, so avoid taking curds in the night. Especially in Ayurveda, it is mentioned as abhishandi, which causes channel blocking. Okay, so you can take other buttermilk can be taken at night, but not curds. Okay, walk after dinner. Okay, so meditate. Meditation is required. Meditation is not connected with any religion. It is for our body and mind to understand ourselves, to improve our focus, concentration, to reduce our nervousness, to reduce our anxiety. Okay, and once a week at least, what to do? There is no food here, right? So we recommend fasting. Yes, fasting is good to give time for your system to repair itself. Okay, at least once in a week or once in 15 days, have fasting. Okay, if you're not able to fast completely, that you're not able to avoid you are not able to be without food. Okay, you can have light foods like any one type of fruits. Okay, or water or buttermilk. Okay, or even if that is not possible, you can have thin porridge. We call it as ganji that can be had. Okay, so these are few things to avoid if you want to avoid or minimize. I can tell you to if you want to have a healthy life. Okay, sweet salts are the things which should be had in moderate quantities. Okay, bakery items, fried items, milk and milk products, especially butter, cheese, paneer. Okay, so that is not recommended. Yeah, that is not recommended. Aerated food, carbonated foods are not recommended. Okay, potatoes, sweet potatoes, minimize it. Okay, don't make it a regular vegetable. Fried and junk foods, we all know what it causes. Okay, refined foods, fried food, it just a moment on the lips, forever on hips. Okay, so we should avoid it. Lifestyle to avoid excess eating, conscious eating, day sleep. Okay, don't sleep in the day as it increases kapha and fat. Okay, for Vata Prakriti people, day sleep is recommended for a brief period because they have disturbed sleep. Hence, they can go for a day sleep. And in summer, day sleep is recommended for everyone. That too for not more than 20 minutes. Okay, so don't tell me that Dr. Purnima has to ask us to sleep in a day in the summer season, so we'll go for sleep. No, it is for not more than 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, sedentary life. Okay, it's like inviting many problems if you go on doing continuing sedentary life. Okay, and having stress, taking stress for everything. Okay, that is also not recommended. And alcohol smoking, we all know it's injurious to health. Alcohol affects the liver. Liver is the engine of our body, and it will definitely affect the digestion and metabolism. Slowly, it will take us towards unhealthy body. Okay, smoking, smoking is injurious to health. As you know, the tobacco, the in the cigarette BD, it gets accumulated in the lungs slowly. It's also a slow poison, and even smoking and tobacco is also should be avoided. What Ayurveda recommends. Okay, so I just joined off another 1 minute. This is Ayurveda recommends external therapies and internal therapies like cleansing, medically induced vomiting. So this you can see dry powder massage. It is known as Udvartana. It helps to rejuvenate the body. This is Svedana, it is sudation with the medicated herbs. This is Tailadhara, Shirodhara, which helps in improving the concentration and releases the stress. Medically induced vomiting removes toxins through vomiting, supervised vomiting. Okay, it mainly indicated in kapha. Medically supervised purgation with the medication that you will have purgation. This is medicated enema, which is given through the rectal route, anal route, then it directly gets absorbed into the intestine. Different kinds of medications are common. Okay, so these are herbs for optimum health. Okay, so one important herb is Triphala, which is a combination of three drugs. It's available in the market. This can be used from head to toe. For ailments from head to toe, Triphala can be used in different combination. Okay, for constipation, at night, 1 spoon of Triphala powder with a glass of hot water. If you have it, you will get rid of the constipation gradually. And for hairs, it is recommended as a hair pack to avoid dandruff. If you have irritation in the eyes, Triphala decoction is recommended for eye wash. Okay, if there is sore ulcers in the mouth, Triphala decoction is recommended for gargling. Okay, so if there is acidity, Triphala tablet, Triphala powder is recommended along with the ghee and honey. It is recommended. Okay, so it is like a wonder drug in our Ayurveda. And next comes this Vidanga amblyarides. Okay, so this also good in improving digestion and metabolism, especially fat metabolism. This you might know is aloe vera. This is a good tonic for liver, and also it's known as Kumari in Ayurveda. The name itself suggests it's a friend for ladies. Okay, for so many gynecological problems, we use aloe vera. This is Guduchi. It's also known as Amritaballi in Ayurveda, Pinospora cardifolia. Amrita is elixir. The name itself suggests this is considered as elixir. Okay, so it's mainly given for immunomodulation to improve the immunity. This is being recommended. So this I have already mentioned. It is Garcinia, and this is Guggulu. You might have heard of this. It's a resin which is mainly given to improve the bone health, joint health. It also increases metabolism, decreases fat, and at the same time it takes care of the joints and bone. Okay, so this is a sample diet. You all can go through this. Okay. So this I have made mainly keeping in mind of a kapha prakriti. Opposite of this, I mean, you can just make small tweaking here. Vata people can have curds, they can have more ghee. Okay, they should avoid more of a bitter and pungent taste. Okay, they can go for vegetables which are having giving nourishment. Okay, so even potatoes to some extent they can have. It's not that they have to completely avoid, but because they may have gastric problem, it's always recommended to add little pepper powder to avoid that. Okay, so that's a good combination. Okay, so this is the sample diet and lifestyle plan. So I would like to conclude my presentation. I want to say that being healthy is a journey. It's not a destination. It should be a continuous process. Thank you very much.